Hazmat load finally done. Can now talk about that. Yep, it was Phoenix. Climbing out of Phoenix back up towards Flagstaff. At one point, you go up 4,000 feet in 45 miles. Also, a tanker on fire. Why I hate Chick-Fil-A, Billboards, and their advertising campaign. And more on this episode of
The Clutch Trucker Channel.
Clutch Trucker, filmed before a live and furry studio audience. That is Rusty. Yeah, he's panting. It's been hot today. The world-famous Meatball Dog. Hey YouTube, Clutch Trucker here. Thanks for tuning in to another edition of the Clutch Trucker Channel. Alright, here it is, Tuesday the 6th. Climbing up the big hill on I-17 up here towards Flagstaff. Alright, so I can talk about the load now that I delivered it. Delivered down in Phoenix is where I was. Hotter than hell today in Phoenix. Yeah, so 107. Well, once you get over 100, you know, yeah, it's a dry heat. That's what they would. But yeah, once you're over 100, it's freaking hot. What do you think? Anyway, yeah, I'm up a few thousand feet higher now, or a couple thousand feet higher, where it's maybe down to like 98, something like that. Anyway, I had a load of paint. That was the hazmat load. The kind of paint they use for roads and like parking garages and stuff to mark everything. That's what I was carrying. And it was a flammable, level 3. So that, you know, that's all empty now. Then I went over to my next place to get picked up. I've got a load of like Chinette type paper plates. So it's going to the King Soopers Kroger distribution center in Aurora, Colorado, Denver area, which is always a cluster mug. Every time I've been there, it's been hours and hours and hours. Not happy about that. At least the load's paying fairly decently. And it gets me towards the house. So that's why I'm willing to do it. So sometime in the next month or so, if you're in the Colorado, Wyoming area, and you buy some Chinette paper plates, you Velcro. Alright, so here we are climbing up. This part of I-17 always fascinates me because Phoenix is about 1,200 feet, 1,400 feet, maybe at the most. And Flagstaff is 7,000 feet. And you go up almost to 5,000 feet on your way up, then you kind of come back down near Camp Verde, Arizona. And then between there and Flagstaff, it's only 45 miles and you go up 4,000 feet. From 3,000 up to 7,000. So I always find that kind of interesting. If you're coming down it and you got a heavy load, hello! On my way down this morning, 2 trucks I saw pulled off to the side with their brakes smoking. Pretty easy to get your brakes smoking if you don't watch out what you're doing. And then climbing back up, luckily this is the light load. The paperwork says 2,500 pounds. I think it's really more like somewhere between 10 and 15,000. According to my suspension gauge here. But at least as loads go, it's a fairly light one, which is good news. So, yeah, this one's going to get me towards the house. So that's good. I'm heading up here to I-40. I'll catch 40 in Flagstaff. Run that across to 25 in New Mexico and Albuquerque. I knew I should have turned left in Albuquerque. And then I'll be heading north from there into Colorado. Going to stay in Walsenburg. There's a Love's and a TA Express there. I figure I should be able to get a spot at either one of those tomorrow. Because I hate parking in the Denver area. It's just such a cluster mud. There's no place to park. You got to reserve a spot if you want to make sure you have a place to stay. And still, I grew up in the Denver area, but as a truck driver, I hate it trying to park there. So anyway, that's the whole kind of load update and what's going on. I did get some time lapse off my other dash cam that I'll show you as I was leaving the Phoenix area. I thought it was kind of cool because we're going up and then you start to see all the saguaro. And if you don't know what saguaro are, it's spelled, I think, S-A-G-U-A-R-O, something like that, saguaro. They're the cactus, you know, that kind of do that, look like they have arms aiming up. And the funny thing about the saguaro is, you know, any old Western movie you watch where they're supposedly in the desert, like California, New Mexico, Utah, Colorado, Texas, they always have the saguaro cactus there. But the only state saguaro cactus actually exists in is Arizona. Used to live in Arizona years and years ago when I went to school for a while there. So yes, I know that is a fact, baby, yeah. And yes, a lot of you were correct in the comments on that load. Yeah, I was on Highway 54 going through the Oklahoma and Texas panhandles, and where that RV cut me off, that was Stratford, Texas. So yes, a lot of you were correct. You noted a lot of you said, well, yeah, there's one guy who said, oh, I drive that thing a few times a week. So yeah, it's kind of easy to figure out. But now here we are. Now we're up. See, we had cactus, and now we've got pine trees. That just kills me how that changes so quickly. How you go up so much. Flagstaff's way up there. It's higher than Cheyenne is, for crying out loud. I always think that's very interesting. So, yep, kind of change environments quickly. In just a space of a couple of hours from Phoenix up to Flagstaff. We're almost to Flagstaff now. We'll grab 40. I think I'm only going to make it to that TA maybe in Holbrook, Arizona. And then we'll shut her down today. I started early this morning, 5:30, of course, Pacific time, because, as many of you know, Arizona does not honor daylight savings time. So half the year they're on Pacific time, and the other half of the year they're on Mountain time. They're kind of weird in Arizona, you know. I guess they gotta be different, you know. I get it, you know, because I think they'd rather have the sun earlier in the morning. So, kind of get that, makes a little sense. Alright, so here we are parked at the TA in Holbrook, Arizona. This is a fairly new one. They built it, what, like 3 or 4 years ago? I know, see, I have a memory here. I've never parked here overnight. But a couple of years ago, I did buy my ultimate purple seat cushion, which I use every day. Saves my ass. I bought it right here, and I did my unboxing of it here, and then I got on the road and gave it a try, and then I put a video together later that night showing, okay, here's my initial reaction of it. And yeah, I still use it to this day. I think I need to buy a newer one, because it is, last time I pulled it out of its little bag, it is kind of wearing down in the middle there, but it's been pretty good. But that's also now what keeps me from buying one of the purple mattresses, because if that little rubber grid stuff wears down with me sitting on it for 2 years, well, what's going to happen when you sleep on it for a couple of years? What do you think? Yep, so I got the Clutch Trucker letters in red today because, God, was it hot down there in Phoenix. 103 when I first got to my pickup, and then 107 is what it was saying just before I left there. And of course, now when you're sitting at a dock with other trucks around you and their engines are running and everything, my, you know, thing here on my truck was showing 114. Okay, yes, the nice one thing you can say, well, it's a dry heat. It's a dry heat. Yeah, if you're over 100 degrees, it's still freaking hot. What do you think? Anyway, so it finally got down to about 90, I don't know, 91 or something a little bit ago. I'll show you. Once we got here to Holbrook, I purposely, I rented a spot. I used my Ultra credits. I made it up to level 4 this month, so I could use my Ultra credits for parking, for reserve parking, because these are the only ones that really backed up so that the sun going down would be behind my trailer, so hopefully the truck would cool down enough that when I go upstairs and go to bed, it won't be like a million freaking degrees up there. So anyway, there you go. So that's where I'm parked tonight. I'm going to try to make it to Walsenburg tomorrow. There's a new TA Express there. There's also a new Love's there, because I don't want to park in the Denver area. I just don't. Sorry. Right before I deliver. I don't deliver until 1 p.m. on Thursday anyway, with my load of paper plates. On my way across yesterday on I-40, I was trying to stay in the Flagstaff area, but the Little America there was already full, so I stopped at this Two Arrows Casino and Travel Plaza, and I parked there last night. Excuse me. And it was a good place to park, nice and quiet, gravel area, but just weeds, but Rusty tolerated that. But then when the sun went down, they had no lights in the lot, so it was dark as heck back out there. Anyway, on the way up to that, we had a big backup because there was a tanker that apparently had caught on fire. Once we got up next to it, you could see the fire was out, but you could see the whole rear end of the tanker all burned up. And now the clutch trucker zoom and slow-mo. Yeah, look carefully. You can see the whole back end is all blackened. The tires are all blown up and gone. Yeah, luckily that whole thing didn't explode. And it looks like the driver had the common sense to disconnect and get away from it before it happened. Yeah, I thought that was pretty crazy. Also, while driving across, especially Arizona and New Mexico, boy, do they love the billboards. And they have all these ones for all these like tourist spots. You know, hey, we've got gifts, we've got blankets, we've got pottery, we've got Indian moccasins. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know, stop here, and you have a billboard every mile or so. You know, you got to stop. You got to stop. And you know, those get a little annoying. Although I used to remember when I lived down in Tucson, Arizona, on I-10, there was The Thing. You ever remember seeing those billboards along I-10 for The Thing? What is The Thing? 50 miles away, The Thing. 30 miles away, The Thing. You'll be amazed. I never stopped to see what The Thing was. I was always curious, though. But speaking of billboards, boy, am I sick of the Chick-Fil-A billboards. Are you too? You know, they've been doing the same advertising campaign for years. Yeah, I get it. Cows can't spell. Ha, ha, ha. But now, the more you think about it, the fact that the cows were able to hoist themselves up onto the billboard in the first place with a bucket of paint and a paintbrush and write letters out at all, I think that's pretty amazing for cows. What do you think? So maybe Chick-fil-A shouldn't be making fun of the cows that can actually write. Okay, they can't spell right, but they're cows. Anyway, I'm getting punchy. Oh, and I did want to show you from time-lapse from my older Rexing dash cam, because it has the time-lapse feature. Just thought it was really cool, because when we're coming out of Phoenix, and you start climbing up, and then you start to see all the saguaro, which is really cool, all around the side of the road. So let's take a quick look at some of that little time-lapse. Alright, so this load's getting me home. If Mark can find another great Hazmat one, you know, for over the weekend or something, maybe just a quick hop, we'll do that if it pays great money. If not, I'll be home Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I've got to do the pitched roof for the box extension, because if you remember a couple of videos ago, that leaked again. I'm tired of that, so I'm just going to build another pitched roof over the top of it. Why not? I've got a few things to do. My pre-pass Elite's waiting for me. My new phone from AT&T is waiting for me, so that means the next couple of weeks I'll be hacked off trying to figure out the new phone. I'm used to this one, but You know, they got you on that consumer treadmill, boy, going around and around. Also, my wife got me some new shoes that are waiting for me there too. I'll reload the truck and everything, and I'll be ready all to roll again, and get back out there and hopefully make the money. That's the whole point, baby. Well, thanks for tuning in for that one. We hope you enjoyed that. Yeah, I thought that was kind of neat to see some Saguaro and climbing up and how quickly everything changes. It's kind of interesting. Tanker on fire. We finally got to talk about the loads. Yes, it's been a hot day. You can tell by Rusty. He's still kind of panting. I've been giving him extra water and everything. Don't worry, I'll take care of Rusty. And of course, he'll get his begging strip here in just a minute. Thanks for tuning in. As always, please subscribe. Please like and comment. Get to your comments as soon as I can. Sometimes takes a day or two because I'm a working truck driver. There's Clutch Trucker on Instagram, Clutch Trucker on Twitter, and as always, sniff that magic YouTube fairy dust. Clutch and Rusty, out. Hazmat load done. Yeah, try that again. Hazmat load done, so I can finally talk about that. Also, driving up from Phoenix, is where I delivered. Up at Flagstaff, you climb 4,000 feet and just to finally... Boys, he's watching it. Oh, come on now, don't cheating. I've still got it in my hand, silly dog. Come down here. Come down. Oh, see, now there it goes. All right. Yeah, you can't anticipate it. Anticipation, it's making him wait. Waiting for begging strips. Oh, yeah. All right, there's another one for you, buddy. Happy dog. Can you say happy dog? Oh, yes, happy dog. And speaking of which, Rusty, as soon as you're done, we need that happy dog look. Look up here.